guys exude. That is the energy of BWEC, and that is what is attractive. It's calming, it's comforting, it's beacon safety, like tells you you're safe in here.
It's been really good for me because I have a problem in the confidence area. I need to build my confidence, and I think that's what this group has done for me.
It made me feel good to know that there were other Black women trying to discover their purpose and trying to get their work out there with other professionals. Everyone does something different. Everyone is not just for self, but it was all about everyone telling their story about who they are. It was uplifting of Tanya Cross.
So that is what is in BWEC, that pulls everybody together. So if you really want to learn, you want to grow being yourself, whether you think you're introverted, extroverted, or ambivalent or ambiverted, whichever category you belong, BWC is just home.
Thank you for watching the BWEC podcast. Please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching the BWEC podcast. Please like and subscribe.
Peace, and welcome. This is the Black Women's Entrepreneurial Collective newsletter, spring 2025 feature entrepreneur interview with Tiffany Williams-Parra. Congratulations, Tiffany. I am your host and the founder of the BWEC, Empress Ayana. I am a lifestyle elevation specialist, and I am also the founder of ONYX Restorative Justice, which is the parent company to the BWEC, and I help support Black women business owners with marketing, graphic design, streamlining your processes, and also with creating safe spaces such as the Black Women's Entrepreneurial Collective. So thank you so much for being here with us, Tiffany. We appreciate you. And so, Jessica, if you do not mind introducing yourself, sis.
Hello, my name is Jessica Robertson. I am the Quality Assurance Leader at the BWEC. And I'm glad to be here. This is my first newsletter. So super excited.
Well, thank you. All right. So Dorcia, if you don't mind introducing yourself, please.
Okay, thank you. I am Dorcia Hart, a retired pharmacist, and I am the BWEC technical assistant lead. I forgot what I was. And I help people with their alignable profile or any other technical issues that they have on Alignable. I'm also a holistic coach, I guess you could say. I help people with their hydration, nutrition, and movement. I help them get off prescription drugs. I also help people that are working out to get a better workout, and they get a better plan for hydration and less injury. So that's what I do. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dorcia. So now the woman of the hour, I'm going to introduce her. So this month, we proudly spotlight Tiffany Williams-Parra, the visionary founder behind Phoenix Fitness Fanatics, a transformative health and wellness platform devoted to helping individuals elevate every aspect of their being. Through a powerful mission to empower people to release the weight, physically, mentally, spiritually, and financially, that holds them back, Tiffany is leading a movement grounded in total transformation. Phoenix Fitness Fitness Fanatics offers a comprehensive suite of services and resources designed to meet people where they are and guide them toward lasting growth. From transformative health and life coaching programs to their dynamic Fitness Fanatics magazine, Tiffany's platform serves as a powerful hub for health professionals, coaches, authors, and entrepreneurs who are making meaningful impact. The magazine not only showcases inspirational leaders, but also provides enriching marketing opportunities, including business packages, cover stories, and contributing writer features. Tiffany's commitment to authentic storytelling and community empowerment shines through in every offering, from live and recorded podcast features to engaging workshops, conferences, and speaking engagements. What truly sets Venus Fitness Fanatics apart is its holistic and inclusive approach to wellness. It's more than just fitness. It's about helping individuals unlock their highest selves and live fuller, more vibrant lives. Through her leadership and passion, Tiffany Williams-Parra is not just building a brand, she's cultivating a movement. Venus Fitness Fanatics is a beacon for anyone ready to embrace wellness in all its forms and rise from the ashes of limitation into a life of power, purpose, and holistic success. Thank you so much for being here with us, Tiffany. We're so excited to interview you today and get to know you a little bit, and also introduce you to our network of people that we have out there. So we're going to go ahead and get right into the question asking. All right. So Dorcia, if you don't mind kicking it off for us, please.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Tiffany, what inspires you to create Phoenix Fitness Fanatics, and how did your personal journey shape its mission?
Wow. Well, Phoenix Fitness Fanatics, I'll tell you, the Phoenix is me. I was in ashes in life quite a few times, actually. But when I got to the low of the low, where I was told I was going to die, but I make some changes. And it really shook me up. I mean, I was a single mom. My son was about 4.5, somewhere around there. And I was in a toxic relationship. I went from one toxic to another toxic. That's a problem, And I said, I got to change. I have to do something. I was in a toxic work environment as well. So you hear that commonality here, toxic, right? I had, the boss was toxic. I was with a C-suite executive team that really just couldn't get it together. I mean, you had an alcoholic, a CEO. I was caring more about the company than I was myself. So I got lost for a little while, and that routine doctor's check really just shook me up. So I just started walking. I started, really taking care of me, getting up, taking breaks like I'm supposed to. I'm HR, I'm telling people to go take their breaks, and I'm not doing it myself. I mean, there were times where I would sit at my desk for 12, 13 hours, and I'd get up to go home, and I'm like, did I use the bathroom today? Like, oh Lord, let me go pee. And I would sit and go to the bathroom forever. I'm like, I don't think I went today. And it was just really bad. So when I started those little steps, started making me first, at home started changing. I started releasing some weight, and I was releasing that physical weight, and I was starting to feel a little good, and then all of a sudden, here goes the toxic relationship. Here goes the toxic friendships. I quit the job because I needed to. I had a 2-hour one-way commute. Dorcia, you'll understand this. I was commuting from Ontario to Irvine every day. And I was on the far part of Ontario, so the Inland Empire. So that's a long way to go, to be just sitting and just be miserable. So that was that point of me now having to rise out of those ashes. And I just started getting into, groups that would really just helped to cultivate that for me. I started reading Lisa Nichols books, and I, would watch The Secret, listen to The Secret, read The Secret. I mean, I was doing all that, and I was, just really digging into a lot of the self-help stuff. And I decided to just be present. Like, let me go and get in front of some of these people and get to know some of these, people out there, because I'm sure there's other people out there that are going through some of the same stuff.
Right.
And that was the best thing I could have done, because I wound up releasing 118.7 pounds. Took me 3 years to do it. I released that toxic relationship, got into a relationship with myself of unconditional love, connected more with my son, stopped arguing with my mother, and started connecting with her on a better level as well. And life just started changing. So I created Phoenix Fitness Fanatics, because when I lost that first 100 pounds, I'm like, what can I do? What can I do to celebrate? I gotta celebrate. And I said, I'm gonna get a tattoo. I already had one, so I'm like, I could do this. But I wanted to get a large tattoo. So I have a phoenix between my shoulder blades
Oh,
and then down my back. And that's to signify, me coming out of those ashes and just being that winner in my life. Now I've been able to manifest a perfect partner. We're not perfect, but we're perfect for each other. And with opening up my own business and sharing my story, I wasn't afraid to go out and share all of it, the good, the bad, the ugly, everything in between. And I created a gym community that I was changing them, and they were changing me. And I'm like, you know what? I might as well
okay.
do something with this, right? And that's where
Yeah.
Phoenix Fitness was birthed. The magazine came later. That was really years later. That was after, that was during COVID, because I got laid off out of HR, and I needed something else to do. And somebody found me. Marisa Blodoran found me in an entrepreneur group. And I really hung on every word she was saying when she was speaking in a workshop about leadership. And I said, man, you needed to be in some of these rooms that I was in as HR, because, whew, I needed you, and I needed her in my life, So we connected, and we really became sisters like that. I mean, the first conversation we had, we were on for like 4 hours, just going at like we were old friends.
Wow.
And she asked me to come and contributing right for Own It magazine, which is Phoenix Fitness's parent magazine. And I said yes. At first I was like, oh, I don't know. Like, but she said, why not? You've been writing reports, you've been doing all this other stuff. Why not write and share how you were able to release almost 120 pounds, and you released toxic relationships, and you released all those toxic friendships? Like, people need to know how you did it. So I started writing for her. And when I started writing for her, I started sharing with everybody, and that's where Phoenix Fitness came from. Phoenix Fitness Fanatics magazine, excuse me, because she saw all the people that I connect with, and they're all people that are about getting healthy. Like, you can understand that, Dorsey. It's like, when you are in that, you attract that. And
Right.
I started meeting DNA specialists and just magnificent coaches and bodybuilders and all these people. And I'm like, I want to celebrate you guys, because you're doing phenomenal work. And that's where the magazine came from. She's like, you need to do your own, honey, because you got your own vision. It's part of Own It, but it's much more than that. So
Wow.
launched in 2021 and kept going.
Oh, okay. Well, that's amazing. It takes something major to jumpstart us into something else. If we didn't have that, we wouldn't even do anything. We would just be on our same old stuff. But yeah, I hear you.
No, that's a beautiful story. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Like, so many of us, we really, we are just trying to do our best each and every day. So then, somebody like you come around and help us to see, like how, your mentor, what she did for you when she invited you, onto it. So it's like, for you to be that to other people is really just paying it forward is really beautiful. So I love that story.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Jessica?
Okay, so how does your definition of releasing the weight go beyond the physical, and why is that holistic focus important to you?
Mm. Well, from when I can remember, I've not liked medications. I've always been that one that's wanted to do things natural. My grandmother used to give us cod liver oil, and she, used castor oil and all those things. So I really grew up around that type of environment. She would make teas and things for us when we would get sick. We wouldn't go and get the, medications and stuff. So as I got older, I kept that part of my heart, that I just didn't want to have that nastiness, there, because she grew her own greens. I mean, she grew her food, she had a garden, she did all that kind of stuff. And just being holistic is very, very important to me. And the what was the first part of the question? I'm sorry, because I went into the holistic part, but
Um, how does your definition of releasing the weight
oh, releasing
go
the weight. Okay.
beyond the
So
physical?
okay. So releasing the weight. Now you hear me saying releasing. I don't say lose weight. None of my clients will ever hear me say, we gonna lose weight. No, we gonna release it. Because when you release something, you can make that's a permanent release. When you lose something, you're trying to find your keys, you're trying to find things that you lose. That was in my mind, I didn't like that. So when when I'm releasing that weight and I'm dropping those pounds, I'm like, man, I'm releasing this, like it's gone. And that was how I was able to continue to keep it off. And that's how I would tell my clients, like, release it. And when you're releasing the weight, you also need to release the mindset, all those self-limiting beliefs, all those things that people have told you. You got to release that too. When I say releasing physically, mentally, spiritually, sometimes you got to release some stuff financially so you can bring things back to you. You got to release all those things so you can find the balance. And that's where I was lost. I was so clogged up on everything. So when I started releasing that physical weight, when I released a lot of that mental weight, the physical weight started coming off even more and even more. And then when I tapped into like my spirituality, that took me even further, because you got to believe in something. And for me, I mean, I believe in God, Jesus. I grew up in a very religious family. My grandfather, I'm basically a preacher's grandkid. So, I grew up in that environment. And, that it's just, I knew that I had to connect with that again. So connecting spiritually, that helped me release even more weight, because it helped me to believe in my God-given capability. He didn't want me to struggle. He wanted me to work through it. So that's what I did. And that's what the releasing means to me. It's releasing that weight physically. It's releasing that weight mentally that's holding you back. It's releasing anything that's spiritually like tugging on you. There might be people in your life that are spiritually draining on you, and you feel that, and you have to release them so you can soar yourself,
And don't go looking for them. Don't go looking for them once you release them, right?
No, no.
Right.
And when they try to come back, because they do try to come back, because as we evolve
They
and we
do.
start shining our light even brighter, sometimes those people, they're still watching, and they'll try to come back in because they want to sabotage. And you just have to again, it's release it. It's gone. Like, don't bring it back. Don't bring it back.
I love your
Right.
terminology of releasing instead of losing. I love that. And the way you're tying in the holistic methods with all of it.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that's me. That's all I can do.
Yeah, it's like changing the perspective and like how you see it it's like turning a switch, right? Like even that little thing is major. So I love that. You just, you changed change the way that a person could look at it. You're not losing anything. You're really releasing it for it to be gone for forever and never feeling like, oh, it's just right over there. I could go find it at any point in time. No, the whole purpose of it is to let it go for good. And, to your point, as it relates to relationships and all different types of things like that, I think that everybody needs to get into their season where they just release, whether it's thoughts or perspectives, people, whatever it may be. I'm real big on that. A sister be releasing, okay?
Okay.
But I can't talk to you no more. We're not friends no more, okay?
Do a detox. Do
Yes,
a detox. Okay, look, if you need to detox yourself from everything that is
yes.
toxic, right? The TV. Because we know, come on now, we know, ladies, you got to agree, we all can get caught up in some toxic TV. That Netflix, we binge watching Netflix, and it's one of them ones that we like, dang, like, why are we watching this? And it's all just drama, ratchet, whatever. But there is sometimes we just find amusement in that. But we have to learn that take it in and then release it out. Like don't
Yes.
keep don't make that a habit, and if you are making it a habit, try to detox, because you'll realize, and you'll have so much more of an appreciation of what's going on over here, because that has kept you from so many things. So
I love that. And because I think sometimes we don't realize how much something might be affecting our mood, our energy, or whatever it may be. And so, I just love everything that you're saying, and it's right on point, and is exactly what people need to hear from you, in particular, coming from the perspective that you're coming from, because so many people are afraid to release, to do something different, or we may not. I feel like a lot of times we're not taught to listen to our intuition, to read our own energy, our own body, and things like that. So a lot of people are like learning that as adults. That's not something that they necessarily like know from young, right? A lot of conversations are not had as it relates to health and wellness, especially in Black communities and Black households and things like that. A lot of that happens. And so I love that this is your approach, to it. And to that point, what does being your highest and healthiest self look like for you right now?
Man, really just watching what I put in my body, watching the foods that I mean. Like right now, my husband and I are actually in a detox. And I said, you know what, we're not doing meat right now, because I started watching some documentaries and stuff. And I've raised animals. So in high school, I was the president of the Future Farmers of America. Okay. So I've raised sheep, pigs, cows, chickens, rabbits, whatever. And I just had recently looked at a documentary on pigs. And I'm like, you know what? Even though we only eat it that much, I'm not going to eat it no more at all.
Right. I love that.
And I started looking into, it was a documentary on parasites. And I told my husband, I'm like, no, we gotta cleanse. We need to be drinking more water. We need to be drinking the clean water, not the nasty stuff, we need to be doing our exercise. I'm trying to get him to get a gym membership right now so we can work out, but I think he's scared to work out with me. I don't know. But
he don't want you to show him out, girl. He don't want you to show him out.
And this has been an adjustment for me, because I am very active. I go to the gym. I was going to the gym every day. Now I'm in a small space, and the closest gym that I have to me, which is Fitness 19, there's only 2 left. They're closing them all down. So I'm like, oh, see, okay, this is a challenge, but I have weights here. I have resistance bands here. So I've been just making up different things to do in a tiny space. If it's cold outside, I do it inside. If it's warmer outside, then I go outside. And then I am all over these fit boots. So the exercise and getting out in nature, I make sure that I hug at least 2 trees in a day, especially because I have all these trees around me anyway. I'm like, man, let me go. And, when I'm walking the dog, I stop to just hug it. I know these people think I'm crazy, but I don't care, because it makes me feel good, taking my shoes off and opening up my toes in the grass and really being present. You know, we get so stuck in just this hamster wheel of life. And that was where I was when I hit that rock bottom. You know, and it came around again when I, you know, had released that job, right? I'm like, okay, I'm never going back there. I don't care how much money they offer me, anything. I'm never going back there because I don't want the commute. I don't want any of that stuff. Went to another job, and that was, you know, that was at an arena that was very big. That was like, wow, it was a lot to do. And I started internalizing things. So I started having panic attacks and didn't even know what I was having. Why? Why am I having, you know? Because again, I'm like this. I've lost all this weight, done all this self-care stuff, but because of the money and me trying to take care of home, I was here again, right? I was here again. So now I just learned to be present and very mindful of, you know, the conversations I have. I listen to people. I hear them. You know, I mean, how many people are just listening to you to like just so they can talk? I really hear people. And I like to hear their stories and just hear how I can maybe be of service. That's what part of my life I'm in right now, is being able to be of service wherever I can. So when it comes to my health right now and being the most healthy, it's really just being present with me, connecting with nature, and also connecting with other humans out there because we need that human connection right now. We really do.
We really do. And you know, I like the fact that the way you live your life is very self-accountable, right? Like it's like, you know, I'm just because you are in transition with where you're living versus to where you're going, you're not going to let that stop you. You're not going to create excuses for yourself because it can be easy to say, well, the gym is so far and, you know, I'm just used to doing it like this or whatever it may be, or my husband won't go with me, or you know, it's like we can pile up the excuses, we can pile up the reasons why we chose to do something a particular way or not do something. And you know, we really need those kind of leaders in the work that we do, and for people to be a mirror to people, right? Because it's not about you boasting, it's not about you telling a person about what you do. It's actually you're out there and you're doing it and you're showing it by the way that you live and you show up every single day. And that's what's most important. There's a lot of people who do their work behind a desk. They're talking to people, they're consulting with people, they're doing all the things, but they're not actually living that truth in their life, right? They're picking up stuff that's not the healthiest to eat. They're making excuses for themselves, but they're still doing coaching. They're still doing all the things because, oh, you know, I got this license to do this, or I have this certificate to do this. So, you know, it's a way to make money. There's a difference between having a true passion for it and just doing it to make some money and really wanting to have that impact on people. So I really commend you for the way that you're showing up for your clients, for your community, for the people who are watching you every day, right? Like that's what it's about. So yeah, I really commend you for that because it's really important. So, Dorcia, you can
Okay.
take it away.
All right. Your next question. Can you share a success story or transformational moment from somebody impacted by your coaching or your magazine?
Oh, there's a few. Oh my goodness. And actually, I just had one yesterday too.
Oh,
Being out here, it's so funny because I have connected with some of the ladies in the RV park. And there was one individual that is here. And I gave her a book. I gave her one of the Girl Powerhouse books. It was the third one because there's really some very impactful stories. I share a couple of stories in there, and then there's 15 other stories in there. And, you know, I just kind of shared a little bit more deeper part of my story with her because as I heard her talking, I could really, I could see me and my situation, my past situation, you know, um, and I just had to share with her, you know, and I said, look, I said, I've been there, you know, and I'm about to get emotional because, um, I told her, I said, you know, you have to have more respect for yourself. You have to find that respect for yourself. I said, this situation is not going to go anywhere. I said, it's, you have to care for you. I said, do you love you? And she just started crying. And I said, that was the question I had to ask myself years ago. Do I love me? I said, and that was at a point when I was about to take my life because of where I was at. And she just, today, she said, I'm going to get help because she told me that she has an alcohol problem. And nobody could, like, over here could really get her to, like, go. And she actually told me, you know what, like, I'm an alcoholic. And she, to admit that, it's like, wow. So that's one that I can really, that I can share that's very recent, for me, and that just really touched my heart. I've had some fitness women, Lakeisha Mushinti, actually, she's the one that I worked out with today. And she has gotten in shape and then fallen off the wagon and gotten in shape again. And every single time she's ready to go, Coach T, I'm ready. And that means a lot for someone to, fall off the wagon and know that they can always come back to you and know that you're going to have open arms for them and meet them exactly where they are and say, hey, look, okay, I got you. Let's go. And that's just man, just being in this space. I just love being in this space.
Right. Oh, that's beautiful. So beautiful.
That is beautiful. And it's good that they have you, because there's so many people out here that are just being judged for where they are in life, and they don't have a space where they feel like it's safe to be able to, talk about what's on their mind, what they're currently going through. They're really embarrassed. And, that's just so beautiful that you're there for them in that space and that you care so deeply and that, you are so connected. And and just real quick, it connects to why also in the work that we do, it is important to center the self in terms of our own well-being, right? Because even in the work that we're doing, we are engaging with other people's emotions, other people's feeling, other people's trauma. And so to take that time for yourself is of the utmost importance, especially when you care about what you do, the way that you are showing your passion and your care for, your community and your clients, the people that you work with. And I just think it's beautiful. And I think in some ways that it's kind of a lost art, just being empathetic or even sympathetic if you really just can't understand, or just the compassion that you can have for someone, whether you've been there or not. And yeah, they are very lucky to have you.
I appreciate that. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
you're welcome.
Okay, so we have another question. So how has the BWEC impacted you and your business throughout your beautiful journey?
You know what? I'm gonna tell you, Empress and I have had some really wonderful conversations, and she's really gave me some clarity on some things. And I haven't been able to be in the rooms like I want to, but I know that there's some amazing women, and I have been, I've been out there looking as well and just kind of tapping in where I can. But I'll just say that, I mean, really, even Dorothea, she and I we've had some conversations, and I already knew I was gonna be partnering with you sooner or later. So we gonna be doing some things, Dorothea.
We gonna do some things.
Because I see you, and I know what you're doing out there as well. So yeah. But Empress here, like, I don't know, it's like she gets me. Like, we've had some conversations. I'm like, man, and she asks those right questions, and she's really helped me to be able to, like, I have stuff in my notes now where I'm like, okay, this is my plan of action, like, after speaking to you. And I know you probably don't even know this until now, but after those couple of conversations that we had just recently, and I know we haven't been able to connect again lately, but I'm like, I can't wait to get on with you again and strategize some more, because you really get my juices flowing, and to be around other women that can really just inspire you and encourage you, and like Empress was pulling some stuff out. It's like just asking those questions, And it's just that has been very impactful for me, and it's been really amazing. And again, I'm looking forward to just growing and just knowing more of the ladies here, because I know that there's just some amazing ladies in the community. And this year and last year's word is collaboration for me. And I want to collaborate with so many people, and I want to be able to just, when you collaborate, you make more of an impact, because you're able to touch more people through each other. So I'm sharing, with you three here, as well as everyone else in the community. I'm ready to work with y'all and ready to collaborate and really make some magic in this world, because it's needed. We need to just spread this positivity and let it spread like fire.
Yes.
It's a movement. It
Yeah.
needs to.
I love that. And everything that we do, everything that I do with ONYX Restorative Justice, including the BWEC, is very collaborative oriented. It's all about the partnerships, it's all about working together. What's your strength? What's my strength? How do we come together and make, some real magic and make some things happen for the people, right? And so, I love that, when you come into the space and all that, the time that we've shared both in the BWEC and separate from the BWEC, it's always been about, like you said, getting those creative juices flowing and us both being able to pour into one another. And I'm just really happy to hear that, the BWEC and our connection has been impactful in a positive way in your life, and that this partnership is feeling fruitful, because it definitely feels fruitful for me. And, even as it relates to you being our featured entrepreneur, for our newsletter, I mean, we knew that we couldn't choose anybody else. Like, it had to be you. You're out here really doing your thing. And I just feel like a lot of times we're not given our flowers, like, while we're here to actually smell them and enjoy them. And we want to give you your flowers, for all of the hard work that you're doing, how you're showing up and everything on a day to day. And so, with that being said, I wanted to ask you, what advice would you give to someone looking to contribute or be featured in the Fitness magazine, Fanatics magazine?
What's the question? What's the
Okay,
message?
what advice
What advice
would
would I
you
give?
give to someone looking to contribute or be featured in your magazine?
Man, the advice, I would just, if you're looking for a community, it's just come on, because I was lost for a minute. And for me to have found the Own It publishing platform, the Own It magazine and publishing platform, that just changed my life. I didn't show up the way I do. Like, I didn't have a podcast. I didn't even want to be on anybody's podcast. I'm like, no, HR, you're back here. You're watching people. You're trying to catch people doing stuff. You're not out there. They tell you stay off social media, and you don't want anyone to see anything that you're doing and all those things. And the advice I want to share is, no, get out there and join these communities that are out there. And Phoenix Fitness Fanatics, for pretty much anyone. I mean, anyone that, yes, we are fitness, but we're also there for the authors. I'm a 10-time best-selling author due to some other collaborations, plus some of my own. And I want to celebrate other authors that are out there doing the doggone thing, because it's hard to get those words out on paper. It's hard, and it can emotionally get you just drained and everything else. So I want to just be able to celebrate people. So yes, if you're looking for a place that feels like family and that you really want to be celebrated, reach out and then come on, do a little
Yes.
research if you'd like. Look up Phoenix Fitness Fanatics, and we're all over the place: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. But if you're looking for a home and just a place to be able to shine, you definitely want to tap in.
Yeah, I know I'm definitely excited for us to start working on my project, my
Yes.
writing project that we've been kind of like, discussing. I'm super excited because I feel like you'd be the perfect person to help me pull my story out and, really get it out there for the people in a way that they can take it in, they can enjoy it and all that, because you have been doing the thing. Okay. So I love that. And you've been helping to bring other authors with you on that journey. And that's what's really, truly amazing. You're not just keeping it to yourself. You are sharing the knowledge, you're sharing the tools, you're sharing the resources, and you're providing a platform where people can come and participate in it and, fill themselves up with some of that energy and knowledge. So yes, I just think it's amazing. And, to just wrap it up, we just want to know, what can we expect next from Phoenix Fitness Fanatics? And do you have any exciting news, events, launches, collaborations? What you got going on over there?
Yes. So we just came out with the Unsnapped Anthology, which has 7 women that have shared their stories of getting to the brink of just no return. You're about to maybe punch somebody in the face. You're gonna do some road ragey stuff. I don't know. You got to read the book. But we just came out with that. We're coming out with a men's edition. So we got to know both sides of the story, right? Because we as women, we show up different than men, but we also want to understand them too. So we did a men's edition. And we are coming out with an app. Actually, I'm doing a Phoenix Fitness Fanatics coaching app that will be launching here in the next couple of months. And we are also doing a summit. We're doing a virtual summit in September. So it is all geared towards holistic health and wellness. So if you are a holistic health and wellness person and you want to come and just, share what you do and really be able to inspire and empower people to just get healthy, because we need to change. I mean, Dorcia, don't you agree? We need to change.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, we definitely want to, just have you guys tap into that as well. And we have some retreats coming up. We've got some retreats coming up under the ONYX platform, as well as Phoenix Fitness. The first one that we have is our Girl Powerhouse Network retreat. That's going to be coming up. That's in February. So you got some time to plan. All right, ladies. So definitely reach out to me if you want. It's going to be in the Dominican Republic. That's where I'm relocating to. And it's going to be just a really good time. We're going to be helping you from, feeling that burnout to coming home blissful. So burnout to bliss. Okay.
Oh, burnout to bliss. Yes, let's go. And you talked about it a little bit about where people can find you, but tell us again where people can reach you and where they can learn more about what you have going on, and even get subscribed to your newsletter. Excuse me, to your magazine.
Absolutely. So if you look up Coach Tiffany Parra, you can find everything. I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, everywhere. And then also our website is going to be Phoenix Fitness Fanatics Mag 2021.com, and you can get your subscription there. It is only $35 for a year subscription. Come on now. You can't find that anywhere for some really, really primo content. You cannot find it anywhere. It is digital, but we do have print copies as well. So if you guys want some print copies, you guys can definitely order those too.
Yeah, it's definitely a beautiful magazine. And we thank you so much, Tiffany, for your time, for your energy, for your passion, for all that you do. And I definitely look forward to connecting with you in the future. I know Dorcia and Jessica, we will definitely be in touch with you to, have more discussions about how we can continue to have these conversations, right? We can continue to have this great impact. So keep being great. Keep doing what you do, and we appreciate you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, ladies, so much. And thank you for the honor of just being a part of the newsletter this time as well. So thank you.
Yes. And thank you so much for agreeing, because, okay, so let's be real though. You had a lot going on. And so, so to even stop what you have going on to accept something somebody sees what I'm doing. This is amazing, type of a thing, but I'm so busy, at the same time. So Thank you for taking the time to, accept our, honor of you and your work and everything. And, because we have our deadlines, everybody got their deadlines, and you made them, you met them. And so you are so appreciated for your time and your energy and your effort. Take care.
Thank you for watching the BWEC podcast. Please like and subscribe.